there, gorgeous! Happy Drugstore December to you. It is such a joy to see you, and I hope that your day is great. Today I have some makeup to share with you. These are the worst products that I discovered in 2022. I actually had a whole drawer forming this past year, and we're gonna turn this into a fun little game here today. So every time I say the word awful, I want you to take a drink of water. I'm drinking water because I have not been drinking enough water. So hopefully by halfway through this video, I will have to pee because I'm going to be saying awful that much. The first terrible makeup product I have to share with you that I discovered this past year were the Maybelline Shadow Blocks. Okay, they weren't all bad, but this one in particular was awful. In its defense though, I did try out the one called West 4th and Perry Street. It was the brown version of these palettes. This was the only good one out of, I believe, 4 that they had released. But this one was oh so bad. Like, what was Maybelline thinking in producing these? They had no pigment. They were extremely chalky. You couldn't even get them on your eyes. My gosh, it was an awful formula. And I just sit here wondering, like, does anybody test these things before they go to market? Because to me, this was a very rushed makeup product. No thought in it whatsoever. The packaging is rather bulky. I know when I had first talked about these lists last year, a lot of you were saying it was a waste of plastic, a waste of packaging. And I agree with you. I mean, this is a bit much. I mean, do we really need good concept, just not executed very well at all. So yuck. Okay, the next really terrible product that I experienced this past year didn't come out this past year, but I do believe it was one that I just picked up and started using again, was from e.l.f. That's the Lash It Out Loud Volumizing Mascara. I found this in the back of my drawer at one point and I said, I don't think I've ever used that before. Probably should have stayed in the back of the drawer. It smudged horribly, ran terribly. It was one of the worst mascaras I've ever used, and I was so disappointed in it. And I believe it was it waterproof? I don't know if it was, but I remember it did not hold a curl at all either. It was one of the most terrible, awful mascaras I've ever used, and I would not recommend it. 2 other mascaras, yes. Oh, these were terrible too. e.l.f.'s Big Mood Waterproof Mascara. I love the original. The original Big Mood Mascara, phenomenal stuff. I mean, it went on my lashes, looked great. It was very volumizing, thickening, looked amazing. Didn't even budge. And I was the one who was saying, I really hope they come out with a waterproof version because I really like that. No, bad formula. Oh, bad. For some reason, the waterproof version smudges and smears and flakes on me horribly, but the regular one that's not waterproof doesn't do that. Isn't that weird? It's like, what is going on here? So I did not like that one. The other one that really disappointed me was from CoverGirl. This is their Exhibitionist Waterproof Uncensored Mascara. And I got this one because I thought, well, I really love the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara. The one that, I have it around here somewhere. This one, the Exhibitionist Silver Tube Mascara. Absolute favorite. Love it. Wears all day. Holds a curl beautifully. One of my absolute loves. I thought, well, hey, this is part of the Exhibitionist line too. It's going to be great. No, sir. It was horrible too. And I believe this one smudged. It ran. It was another bad one. And it's waterproof. What is that? You're supposed to not move. The other one was from Blvd, and that was their eyebrow styling gel. Now this one, very affordably priced at $5, but no pigment. You couldn't even get it to show up on the eyes. And for me, I felt like it was way too cool toned. It looked almost gray on application to me, and it was very unflattering. I did not like how it made my brows look. The day that I did wear it and test it out, I remember I felt very self-conscious with it on. I did not like it at all. So Another eyeshadow palette that really disappointed me was this one from Revlon. This was their Color Stay Day to Night eyeshadow palette in the shade Seductive. So I thought, oh, purple. Oh, it's going to be good. Nope. No color payoff. You couldn't get the eyeshadow from the pan to your eye. Really terrible formula. I think it was chalky too. And even on the front here, what's so funny to me is they say new and improved. You got to rethink that, guys, because it's not improved. It may be new, but it is not improved. While we're on the subject of eyeshadow, 2 other palettes that really disappointed me this past year were from Milani. Milani, like, we know Milani to be really good and for the most part, high quality. But these somehow missed the mark here too. This was the Gilded Floral. Do you remember this one? And the eyeshadows in here lacked pigment. They lacked staying power. They were very muddy on the eyes and just not a lot of color payoff here. The other one was their eye, cheek, and face palette. This one right here. I believe it came out the same time as the Gilded Floral palette. And again, this one was okay, but the eyeshadows right down there in the center, they were terrible. Very chalky, hard to get them on the eyes. There was no color payoff hardly with them. The face products were okay. Like, these were okay, but they weren't anything to really write home about. They weren't like, whoa, you have to try these. They were just eh. But very disappointed in those this past year. Along with that floral line, which I felt like was a bomb. I mean, I can't remember offhand specifically, but I feel like there were a lot of disappointments that came out of that. But their eyelashes in particular too, these were part of that floral line. These were really heavy looking on the eyes. They were very uncomfortable. The band was really, really thick with them. Hard to maneuver. It wasn't very flexible. Did not like those either. They were awful. Ugh. And then the other one, yep, this was another one. The Make It Last Flora Floral Scented Setting Spray from Milani, also part of that floral line. Didn't do a darn thing for setting your makeup. I mean, I was oily within, I want to say, 5 or 6 hours after applying this to my face. Now, that should not be the case with a setting spray. Another setting spray that really disappointed me was the Revlon Colorstay Lock Setting Mist. This has a 24-hour claim on it, but it didn't go that long. I want to say not even 6 hours with this one. And I had so much oil and shine breakthrough with it. Very disappointing. Put me on your board. Let me test out your products. I will tell you. I mean, granted, everyone has their own opinion and I love that, but come on, man. Somebody has to be there testing this stuff. Another one from Revlon Colorstay was their Blot Matte Setting Powder. This one still, like the setting spray, it did not do anything in terms of controlling shine on the face. And even though it's supposed to keep everything matte, really didn't. This one has a 16-hour timestamp on it, by the way. Didn't even go that long. I want to say maybe 4 hours before I had shine breakthrough with this one. Really terrible product. I expected so much more. But again, awful. From Blvd, this was their Pretty and Primed Color Correcting Primer. And this is another one that didn't do anything in terms of helping the makeup to last longer on the face. It was okay in terms of color correction. It did a pretty good job of minimizing redness, but the fact that it did not help to extend the wear time of makeup, I mean, you could take it or leave it with this one because it does do an okay job with color correction. If you're not looking for a product that will help extend the wear time of your makeup, even though it says that's what it does, and it doesn't. And this one, I wanted to love this one so badly, but I just did not. Another awful product from this past year was the NYX Bear With Me Luminous Cheek Serum. This was like nothing. He applied it, it was like nothing. There was no color payoff with this, and what I was expecting was a flush of color on the cheeks, but it disappeared and it faded after wearing it all day too. It didn't stick around very long. It was one of those where it's like, I believe I applied cheek product today, but I don't see it, even after the initial application. So I was really disappointed by this one. The other one that was terrible, awful, ugh, nasty, nasty stuff was from Maybelline. This was their Green Edition Super Drop Tinted Oil. Did you try this stuff this past year? What I thought was going to be a good product ended up being awful. It brought out so much texture in my skin. It sat on top of my skin. It did not look like skin, even though it says, this is what it says, it's a skin-like look and feel formula. Pfft, my fanny, it's not. It's horrible. It does not look like skin. It looks like makeup, and it looks like makeup that's been applied badly. on top of it. As with everything, makeup is based on a personal experience, so if I bashed a product here today that you love, please do not take offense to it. Just know that I'm very opinionated, and based on my experiences, this is what I experienced with the products I shared with you here today. It is not a slam at any one of you personally at all. It's just when I have a bad experience, I'm very vocal about it. So yeah. Anyway, how much water did you drink today? I don't think I drank enough. I think I need to drink some more. And if you are interested in any of the products I shared here with you today, I will not be linking them below for you in the description box because I do not feel like anybody should be subjected to this crazy, awful mess that these products were this past year. But let me know what your worst makeup product discovery was from 2022 and why. Would love to hear your comments on this topic also. I'm wishing you a beautifully blessed rest of your day. I speak love, peace, and joy into you and into your home, and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another video in Drugstore December.